It's a watershed moment in the history of Jammu and Kashmir, and after a decade, assembly elections are being held in the valley. And among the districts that went to polls include the four South Kashmir districts of Anantnag, Pulwama, Kulgam and Shopian. The polling has been peaceful and incident-free is what the Election Commission is saying. Till 5 p.m., the voter turnout was 58.2% in the 24 assembly constituencies that went to polls. And surprisingly, according to officials, the highest voting percentage so far among all these 24 assembly segments of the Union Territory was recorded in Indarwal at 80.06%, followed by Padar Nakseni at 76 and Kishtwar at 75.04. So certainly, Valley has given a thumbs up to electoral and democratic process again. The sense certainly also is that in Pulwama district, the voter percentage has not crossed even the 50% mark. Let me bring in my guests now. Salman Anis Soz is National Spokesperson of the Congress, Shehzad Poonawalla, National Spokesperson of the BJP. We have Neerja Chaudhary, Senior Journalist, Shehla Rashid, activist. We also have Sajjan Kumar, political analyst. Shehla, I'm going to begin with you. As a Kashmiri, someone from the valley, the PDP and NC says that this is revenge voting. And that is the reason why this celebration of sorts which is being witnessed. So what are you picking up from your family members back home? Did they come out to cast their vote, and was there revenge on their part as well?
Thank you, Maria, for the question. But this voting is in South Kashmir, whereas I am from Srinagar. And this is very significant, the numbers that have come in, because South Kashmir is the insurgency dominated. In recent years, South Kashmir has been the hub of insurgency. Now, as far as revenge is concerned, we should be grateful and we should be thankful. All voting is revenge voting. But this time, the revenge is being sought through the ballot and not through the bullet. That is a huge change from 1987 and 1990s insurgency. That is the big change. Of course, all voting everywhere in the world is revenge voting only. But this is the big change, and this needs to be appreciated, that the same districts that were the hub of armed insurgency are now resorting whatever grievances they have. This is a celebration of democracy. They are thronging to the polling booths. That is the real message here. That is the real victory here.
Absolutely, I agree with you. And Salman, what are you picking up from the ground of these 24 assembly segments which went to polls? Of course, the big issue was statehood, but this is also the first election after abrogation of Article 370.
Well, yes, the first election after that. In fact, the first assembly election after 2014.
Yes, assembly elections.
And I think people, to my mind, are happy that they have an opportunity to choose their representatives so that their voice is heard. I think what has happened in the last 6 years, especially when there's been direct central rule, people's voices are not heard. They have lots of grievances, but they have no one to go to. There's no recourse, because I think when you have a situation where you have a centrally appointed lieutenant governor and an unelected person, you can't really hold anybody accountable. And I think that is what has happened in Jammu and Kashmir. And in fact, you were here just recently. We spoke as well. I think there's a lot of resentment in the country, in Jammu and Kashmir, about extremely high unemployment for young people, for women, extremely high drug use. Almost 10% of the population right now is unfortunately afflicted by drug abuse. The resources of Jammu and Kashmir, frankly, have often found their way outside, and the people of Jammu and Kashmir are not able to get government contracts like they used to. I think the first right of the resources of Jammu and Kashmir, the first right is of the people of Jammu and Kashmir, and this is across the board.
Okay.
If you go to Jammu or you go to Kashmir, Darbar Mu, which was a tradition for more than 100 years, that has been stopped, and that has really made the people of Jammu suffer.
Okay.
It's really hurting the people of Jammu.
Interestingly, my producers have put out those graphics which show a comparison between 2014 and 2024. Shahzad, when we look at those numbers, it's very, very heartening to see, of course, that 8 seats of Jammu and 16 seats of Srinagar, which went to polls. We saw long queues early morning. Just look at that number. Kulgam, of course, this has been the new terror hotbed, 56.4 to now 59.6. Just look at the rise. Very, very positive here. But then Devsire is a constituency where there has been a dip as well, almost like a 10% dip.
मारिया, आपने कहा ये रिवेंज वोटिंग है। मैं तो कहूंगा कि ये केवल रिवेंज नहीं, ये वोटिंग है एक्सपंज करने के लिए। जो पीपीपी, पत्थरबाजी, परिवारवाद और पाकिस्तान परस्ती की राजनीति चलती आ रही थी और जम्मू कश्मीर को आतंकवाद का, टूरिस्ट नहीं, टेररिज्म का हॉटस्पॉट बनाए रखा था, आज उसको एक्सपंज करने के लिए वोटिंग की गई है। दिस इज द फर्स्ट टाइम वी हैव सीन 50% ड्रॉप इन टेररिज्म, 99% ड्रॉप इन पत्थरबाजी, 100% ड्रॉप इन बंस, एंड वी हैव सीन दैट व्हाट वाज टेरर हॉटस्पॉट हैज बिकम टूरिज्म हॉटस्पॉट। जहां पर सुशील कुमार शिंदे डरते थे जाने के लिए, वहां पर भाई और बहन बर्फ के गोले के साथ खेलते हैं। लाल किले से लाल चौक तक तिरंगा लहराता है। वी हैव सीन द मैनर इन व्हिच जिन गलियों में गोलियां चलती थी, वहां पर सचिन तेंदुलकर शॉट लगाते हैं। मां शारदा के मंदिर में घंटे भी बजते हैं और ताजिया के, मुहर्रम के ताजिया भी निकलते हैं श्रीनगर की सड़कों में। सिनेमा हॉल, जहां पर मुझे लगता है सलमान सोज गए होंगे, क्योंकि सलमान खान पे इनका नाम है, तो सलमान सोज देखने भी गए होंगे एक आध फिल्म। तो
सलमान, इसी बात पे थोड़ा मुस्कुरा दीजिए। These are positive communications that is going on, positive discussion.
सलमान नहीं मुस्कुरा, I'll tell you, सलमान को नहीं मुस्कुरा। मैं आपको बताता हूँ, 10 सेकंड मेरी बात हो जाने दीजिए। मारिया जी, सलमान इसलिए नहीं मुस्कुरा सकते क्योंकि जो स्पेशल स्टेटस 3 परिवारों के सिर पर लगाकर घूमते थे ना ये लोग, वो स्पेशल स्टेटस छीनकर हमने जम्मू कश्मीर की आवाम को देने का काम किया है। आज 30,000 से ज्यादा चुने हुए प्रतिनिधि है। आज 50-50% वहां पर वोटिंग होती है, और जो अफजल गुरु की पैरवी करते, अभी पैरवी किया है उमर अब्दुल्ला ने, ये 370 वापस लाना चाहते। 370 वापस लाना मतलब मेरी बहन शैला को उनका पूरा अधिकार ना मिलना, इसका मतलब मेरे वाल्मीकि गुजर समाज को उनका अधिकार ना मिलना, बाबा साहब आंबेडकर जी का संविधान वहां पर लागू ना होना। मैं आज सिर्फ सलमान जी से एक ही सवाल पूछना चाहता हूँ, ये राहुल गांधी भारत जोड़ो लेकर और संविधान लेकर नाचते रहते हैं ना, इनसे पूछिए कि राहुल गांधी इज फॉर 370 टू बी इम्प्लीमेंटेड एंड दे वांट टू रीनेम शंकराचार्य पर्वत एज तख्ते सुलेमान। बताइए, तख्ते सुलेमान करना चाहते हैं। आई वांट टू आस्क, इज कांग्रेस पार्टी फॉर दिस और अगेंस्ट दिस?
Yes, but Shahzad, today those long queues that we have seen, particularly in those districts which was part of South Kashmir and that Chenab Valley districts, these are very, very positive signs. Salman, a quick word from you and then I bring in the analysts.
मैं भी इनको इन्हीं की जुबान में थोड़ा जवाब दे दूं। ये बीजेपी वाले प्रोपेगेंडा करते हैं। अगर नहीं करते तो मोदी जी का जो विक्ट्री मार्जिन वाराणसी में वो 5 लाख से 1.5 लाख नहीं पहुंचे, हारने वाले थे आपके प्राइम मिनिस्टर। आप सुनिए बात, आपने टेररिज्म की बात की, आपको समझाता हूं क्योंकि आपको शायद कश्मीर, जम्मू कश्मीर का पता नहीं है। 2019 से लेके 2023 तक 5 साल है। आपने कहा ना टेररिज्म का डिक्लाइन, मैं आपको डिक्लाइन सिखाता हूं, अभी आपको थोड़ा सीख के आना चाहिए। 2019 से 2023 में जितने लोग मरे हैं, सिक्योरिटी पर्सनल मरे हैं, वो ज्यादा हैं कंपेयर टू 2011 से 2015। यानी कि वो 5 साल जिस टाइम में हम थे और आपकी गवर्नमेंट का 1 साल, उसके मुकाबले में अब ज्यादा है। और जम्मू में जिस तरह से टेररिज्म फैल रहा है, लोग डर रहे हैं, आपको शर्म आनी चाहिए टेररिज्म की बात करते हुए। जिस टूरिज्म की आप बात करते हैं, मैं आपको यह भी बता दूं, आप तो अभी आपकी शायद उतनी एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है। टूरिज्म जो जम्मू एंड कश्मीर का है, 85% इज जम्मू बेस्ड, क्योंकि माता वैष्णो देवी का टूरिज्म रिलीजियस टूरिज्म होता है। और बाय द वे, आपको शायद ये नहीं पता होगा, पार्टी वालों ने आपको मटेरियल नहीं भेजा है, 2012 में 1.3 करोड़ पीपल केम टू जम्मू एंड कश्मीर 2012 में। एंड लेट मी टेल यू वन मोर थिंग, क्योंकि आपकी पूरी इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं है, द लोवेस्ट नंबर ऑफ कैजुअलिटीज, द लोवेस्ट इन टेरर रिलेटेड इंसिडेंट्स इन द लास्ट 35 years was in 2012, not in 2020, not in 21, 22 or 23. And
after
finally,
having returned from the valley,
one word.
After having returned from the valley only on Monday, I have seen a very, very positive sign. I've traveled with several all-party delegations to the valley, and we have seen how there used to be barricades in several places. Srinagar felt open and welcoming this time around. So let me bring in the two analysts now, Sajjan Kumar and Neerja Chaudhary. Okay, Sajjan Kumar and Neerja Chaudhary. I'm coming to you, Shahzad. Neerja Chaudhary, what are your thoughts as Jammu and Kashmir elections begin today? Of course, there are 2 more phases to go.
Look, seeing the queues in Jammu and the valley, long queues, people coming out in large numbers to vote after the Lok Sabha election, voter turnout, I must say I feel good today. And it doesn't mean that things have, you've come out of the woods, you don't have the terrorist challenge, and that there won't be challenges in the future. But the political activity has restarted, the political process has restarted. People want to choose their representatives. And our democracy is very flawed, it has lots of shortcomings, but is the only way forward to find solutions. And somewhere, whoever wins in these elections, we don't know. It's very interesting. There is the NC Congress on the one hand, PDP, of course, India partner, has been left out. There's the BJP. We'll wait to see whether it will hit the tally of last time, which was 25 seats from Jammu. And there are this large number of independents and smaller parties. 45% of the contestants belong to these Apni Party, AI, and also the Sajad Loans People's Conference, and just independents. And you had Rashid Engineer released on bail, campaigning. Now will it turn out to be the third force? Of course, there's a lot of mara-mari going on between him and the Jamaat-e-Islami. But that is all part of, the differences in a democracy, the cacophony of democracy. So I feel good that is slowly coming back into Jammu and Kashmir. And people who've been sullen maybe for the last 5 years in the valley, now are having their say slowly. And Jammu, of course, there are other issues in Jammu. Whether it will be the Congress that will revive, BJP will maintain its hold, whether they will, the whole question of statehood, the whole question of statehood, lots of land and jobs versus nationalism, development. There's so many issues that makes it a very complex picture. So in some way, the issues that play out in the rest of India at election time are today playing out in J&K also.
Absolutely. And youth there are speaking the same language as I've heard, covering elections in various parts of India. It's about aspirations, it's about jobs, it's about their future. And it's about education. So, Sajjan, when we look at these pictures, from early morning, there were queues of women, men arriving at various polling booths. These are elections without fear, without boycott calls. I think that's a very positive sign. You may vote for whichever political party, but you're participating in the electoral process.
Precisely, and if you see the signs and the images of long queues, and I think ultimately the voting percentage in first phase after final tally will cross the 68% when you take all the factors into account. That effectively defeats the alternative and counter narrative of a conflict-ridden, separatist-centric image of Kashmir that has been projected across the world to demonize their state. And state Jammu and Kashmir as well in the Indian state. So that way you also see in the battle of narrative between the democratic narrative, election-centric narrative, and the separatist and the human rights-centric narrative, it's the effective victory of the democratic narrative. This is one. Two, what better way of assessing the fairness and freeness of the election than to see the stakeholders from National Conference, Congress, PDP, to BJP, to lots many independents, and you also see the kind of accusations, and this is very heartening to see that mainstream parties are like, in rest of India, you see many of the independents and newcomers and parties are accused of being the B team of Congress, BJP, etc. The same sort of, normalization has happened in Jammu and Kashmir also, wherein you are accusing lots many stakeholders to be the shadow or the B team of BJP, etc. So that way it shows that Jammu and Kashmir has acquired the mainstreaming of the aspiration like rest of India, and youths do speak that language. So that way, today's signs and the images effectively shows that in the propaganda on Kashmir across the world to demonize the Indian state has been vanquished, and it is a victory of the democratic narrative, because whatever emotive issues may be there, all the parties, their enthusiasm in the participation is competing with each other, and that way it's a democratic narrative.
Campaigning going on till late night. Lal Chowk all
Exactly.
lit up. These were the images
Exactly.
that I have come back with after being in Kashmir, in Srinagar in particular. Yes, Shehzad, you wanted to make a point. So, Lal Chowk, a constituency which is so symbolic, has a young candidate who is a 27-year-old from PDP. These are signs which show that the youth are also participating, not just in exercising their right, because in these elections, and this is a very interesting statistic which I came to know about only when I was on the ground, that under the age of 30, the percentage of those, the demographic is 70%. 70% Kashmiris are under the age of 30. So it's a very young population. Yes, go ahead, Shehzad.
Look, I can give statistics galore that the GSDP used to be 1 lakh crore, now it's 2 lakh crore. The investment in the last 60 years was 15,000 crores, today 78,000 crores. That the strikes have ended, stone pelting has ended, road villages that used to be built at 158 kilometers per day per year, it's now come out to 8,000 kilometers per year, 24,000 houses built by them in 70 years. He built 1.45 lakh houses, they have given 7 lakh tap water connections, we've given 13 lakh tap water connections. That I can go on and on. But I'll give you just one picture and leave it with Salman Sood. Today, one of our candidates from Kishtwar was a girl called Shagun Parihar. No family. You know what has her family gone through? Her chacha and her pita were assassinated and killed by the bullets of terrorists. We stand with Rashtrahit. We stand with Nation First. And you know who these people were batting for? They were saying Afzal Guru ko galat latkaya. In their manifesto, they have written Pakistan se baatcheet karna, the same Pakistan who orchestrated Kargil and who killed 40,000 Kashmiris. So today I want to ask Salman Sood, politics apni taraf. Are you with Shagun Parihar or are you with Afzal Guru?
Okay. Salman, a direct question there.
This is the kind of grandstanding that Shehzad can do. They have a party candidate, and she's obviously all the best to her. I don't know where he gets all this Afzal Guru, etc. from. He should stick to the issues. Why are the people of Jammu and Kashmir so much in resentment against the BJP? And by the way, he started rattling. This is Shehzad's technique of rattling numbers. But let me tell you, he even rattled a number. No, Shehzad, do not interrupt me. Do not interrupt me.
Salman can't stick between Shagun and
I did not interrupt you. Stop interrupting. Shehzad, आपको कितनी बार बोला है जब बात कर रहे हो आप बात सुनो, अपनी बात कर रखी, अब मेरी बात सुनिए. अब आपको इतना तो Shehzad, you should just keep. What's the problem? मुझे भी बात रखने दीजिए, आपकी बात मैंने
सुन लीजिए. Shehzad, listen to Salman. Shehzad, please listen to Salman.
अगर आपको खुद एंकर बनना है तो आप टीवी में आ जाइए.
Salman, speak please. Salman, please speak.
ये number, when he was about to rattle numbers, he started talking about investment. By the way, do you know that in the last 3 years, over 80,000 crore rupees worth of investments were announced. Only 3% have been fulfilled. Only 3% in 3 years. By the way, the other thing he will not tell you, and people will not tell you, is that in Jammu and Kashmir, industries have stagnated, flatlined, while unemployment and industries have declined by 16%. Go to Jammu and talk to the traders, talk to the shopkeepers, see what has happened to them. They will tell you how much they hate the BJP. That is why this time, I hope, by the way, that more and more people come out to vote. Why? Because I think the more people come out, the more the India Alliance will do better. And by the way, one other thing, and this is beyond politics. Of course, we want to have more and more people come out to vote. But please do not forget that in 2014, 66% people cast their vote. In 2008, 60% people cast their vote.
Okay.
The people of Jammu and Kashmir have been holding on to democracy for a long time, and they're giving their blood for it.
I'll bring in Nazir Masoodi from the ground. Yes, please, Shaila, go ahead.
Shagun or Afzal?
अरे चुप रहो यार, तुम तो कुछ हो ही नहीं.
Shaila, please, on the screen now. Yes.
Okay. So one thing that I want to say is that, see, these elections, what is being said here, why are people angry against BJP? Why are people resentful? I would say to the India Alliance, to my friends in National Conference and Congress, please smile. People are supporting you. People are voting for you. This is not 1987, my friends. This is a free and fair election. It is possible that you will form the government. It's very much possible that you will win the elections or you will at least sweep the Kashmir region. Why are you angry? I don't understand. If a BJP government is ensuring a free and fair election for NC, Congress, just smile.
Okay, so let the panelists smile. Thank you so much. Everyone who has joined us and taken this time out for NDTV. Let me bring in Nazir Masoodi. Nazir, I'm sure you are smiling. There is a celebration of democracy which has played out in your state today. Okay, so, early morning the voting began, and till around 5 p.m. the voter turnout was roughly around 59%. Several districts recording a record voter turnout. Remember, during the Lok Sabha polls, the Jammu and Kashmir had recorded the highest voter turnout in 35 years, breaking a record of sorts. There was a lot of excitement and enthusiasm as people came out to vote. During the campaigning also, we have seen the similar euphoria where campaigning has continued till late night. Lal Chowk in particular has seen a lot of fervor. The election fervor has been everywhere in Kashmir.